So on this channel, we've said a bunch of times that we're not a, hey, whatever, just fire everyone the moment anything goes wrong, right? Like, we like to give people a little bit of leeway, a little bit of scholarship. But with head coach Mike Zimmer, it's time. It is time. 8 years. 8 friggin' years, and it's just so tough. So obviously the Vikings lose Sunday Night Football against a backup quarterback at home with their season on the line. And the Vikings, the last 3 games, have been habitual line steppers. They did not deserve to win the Lions game. They did not deserve to win the Panthers game. They certainly did not deserve to win the Cowboys game, and they didn't. And to put it bluntly, this team is too talented to play this shit every single week. You have superstars up and down the dial, but every single week this team looks unprepared, they look sloppy, they look lethargic, and that all comes down to the head coach. I don't care. I do not care. That 100% comes down to coaching, and he's run out of time. That's it. This should be a Super Bowl contending team, but every single week, all phases of this team play like they're point shaving, and it's like you're trying to play like it's 1950, huh? Yeah, get up by 3 and run out the clock. Great. What about your vaunted defense? Where did that go, huh? It's just so frustrating, man. I mean, Cooper Rush looked like friggin' Joe Montana out there. He looked like Tom Brady on that final drive. By the way, Panthers game, Sam Darnold, who couldn't fart out of a wet paper bag the entire game, 96 yards, including 2 fourth-down conversions right in your grill. Right? That was a portent of things to come. And then Cooper Rush, 75 yards. 75-yard game-winning touchdown. And by the way, you could have held him to 3. You could have forced overtime. But Zeke, even though he was 9 yards away from the first down sticks, broke 17 tackles. And it's just so frustrating, man. The fans had every right to boo. They had every right to boo this team because they deserved it. The way that they played and the way that Mike Zimmer has this team playing. And it's got to be frustrating if you're a player out there. Like, if you're Jefferson, if you're Thielen, if you're Eric Kendricks, if you're Harrison Smith, you're like, what am I doing here? So why am I wasting my career in this spot? Because like I said, this team has superstars all over the place. With some quality coaching, this team's going to the top. Straight up. Like, this is not an older veteran team that you just have to blow up everything. Although, it could blow up parts of it. Sure. Also, what's frustrating is that this team is still in wildcard contention, which is just... By the way, this is like therapy to me. Just talking out the feelings. I should be laying down on a couch. Maybe we'll do that on one of these weeks, because this is going to be a long-ass season, man. This is going to be a long-ass season. And, you know, maybe I've defended Mike Zimmer for a little bit too long, but we've said it a bunch during the offseason. Did you ever see him evolving to being a top-tier head coach? One that will win you the Super Bowl. One that excels in the 2 management areas that NFL head coaches have to do. It doesn't have to be X's and O's. But the elevation of, oh, this guy is really good coordinating one side of the ball, so he must be really good at being a CEO of a team. No, that does not compute. You have to be really good in managing 2 areas. Managing people, managing your team, getting their emotions up, getting their emotions down, getting them ready to play on game day, and managing the clock. Zimmer sucks at both. He does. And you know, when he came in and revolutionized the defense, by the way, because the Vikings spent all the money in free agency and lots of high draft picks on cornerbacks, it sort of worked. And that now your precious defense is costing this team games, and you're still piss poor at managing the clock, and you're bad at managing people. Why are you here? I don't know. But again, this could be a blessing in disguise. And by the way, you know, like Vikings fans, season ticket holders who sold their tickets to Cowboys fans, I don't blame them. I mean, they knew what was going to happen. And that place sounded like more of a Cowboys home game than actual Cowboys home games. You ever been to Arlington? It's like 50-50 crystal ball. But that place was rocking. As soon as Amari Cooper caught that first pass, and you heard how loud that Coop was, we were in trouble. We were in trouble, man. It's just so... Fire Zimmer tonight. Fire Little Zim as well. Elevate Dre to interim head coach. Start reaching out to the agents of Brian Daboll, Kellen Moore, don't care. Eric Bieniemy, Doug Peterson. Doug can win in U.S. Bank Stadium. He's done that. Mike Tomlin, who might get the sack in Pittsburgh. Whoever. I don't care. Burn it all down. This team has too much talent, and the clock is ticking, man. The clock is ticking. With better leadership at the top, this is a Super Bowl contending team. It is. It is. But, I mean, we're not even going to go through winners and losers of this game. Like, Xavier Woods deserve better, man. Xavier Woods, Eric Kendricks, Everson, and Thielen deserve better. They do. And also C.J. Ham, who had more catches than Justin Jefferson, but that's an argument for another day. I love C.J. Ham, but when you have Thielen and Jefferson and Dalvin on your team, and C.J. Ham and Tyler Gronklin are your go-tos, come on, man. But so the Zimmer, we've talked about Zimmer's mismanagement at the end of halves in basically every game this season, where if it happens once, sure, whatever, everyone has a bad day, but it happens over and over and over again. So the complete kerfuffle with 13 seconds left before halftime, just call the timeout. As you're watching Cousins' clown shoes, just try and get everything situated, clock ticks down, then you take a knee. Just call the timeout. It's not like you can exchange it at halftime for a Laffy Taffy, or, sorry, what was the candy? Oh, Charleston Chew. It's probably more Zimmer's generation. Also, the defensive delay of game. I have never seen that penalty where you tried to call a second timeout. I mean, you have to know that you can't call 2 timeouts in a row. So the fact that in such a high leverage spot, you tried to do it. And by the way, they said the NFL rules analyst guy said that the official is supposed to ignore you, but Zimmer must have been so adamant about wanting to take a second timeout. They're just like, fine, penalty. He's got to go, man. Like, I'm sick of the kick-ass defense, and all of your players, whether they're out of position or not, everyone's missing tackles. That comes down to coaching. That comes down to desire. That comes down to state of mind. These guys don't want to play for you. I think that's pretty apparent. So just, and don't even get me started on the offense. So like we said, you got superstars all over the place, but you cannot get anything going. Vikings third down offense was 1 of 11. How'd they end up? Oh, 1 of 13. 1 of 13 on third down offense. Just also, you had 2 turnovers at home that resulted in 0 points. And you were in no danger of winning this game after the opening drive. And it's like we've seen all along. Like Clint Kubiak and his offense has been great. Scripting, first drives, touchdown, field goal, touchdown. It's great. The rest of the game, not so much. Maybe Boy Wonder isn't ready. Or maybe Zimmer's putting his thumb on the scale, trying to impose his style on the offense in game. The most frustrating thing is when the Cowboys had all those penalties on the second to last drive. I mean, you could say that some of them were sort of iffy, but I mean, we're owed a couple billion makeup calls, so we got 2, sure. But your season is on the line. And it's 1st and goal from the 4, and you lose yardage. That's just pathetic. That is absolutely pathetic. Like I said, this is therapy for me. I'm also a Liverpool fan, so this is a really tough weekend. Just where do you go from here? And we are the purveyor of purple positivity, but you can't spin this in a positive direction. You could say, sure, the games that you've lost, Cleveland, playoff team, Cowboys, playoff team, Cardinals and Bengals, playoff teams, but you can't just keep giving it away. I mean, if some butts were candies and nuts, every day would be Christmas. Sure, we could talk about how you lost some of these games, and you had the Cincinnati game stolen from you. You had the Cardinals game taken away by Greg Joseph, sure. But this game, you had no right to win this game because you did not want to win. And that's been the same way for the last 3 weeks. And yeah, the Cowboys, even without Cooper, even without Dak, are a good football team. By the way, if Dak plays, I think the Vikings lose by 30. And that's the truth. I mean, if you let Cooper Rush do that to you, imagine what Dak would do if he was healthy. But I digress there. So what is the definition of insanity? Just the same thing over and over and over again. Cousins had a rough game too. The offensive line was a mess. Garrett Bradbury and Oli Udoh were completely dominated by Carlos Watkins and Osa Odigizua, the pride of UCLA. Start Wyatt Davis for both of them, by the way. And, oh, by the way, Brashad Breeland, hey, hello. Hey, thank you for giving up 51 yards, just handing it to them on the final touchdown drive. Congratulations. Tipping that ball back to Amari Cooper, then giving up a big-time catch. You've been playing like Johnson out there. Yeah, you can call out fans all you want. If you're playing like garbage, we'll call a spade a spade. All right, sorry, Johnson. It's fine, but I guess it is pretty simple. Like, if you're the Wilfs, if you're Spielman to a degree, I don't know how you can watch this game, how you can watch the rest of October, frankly, and just be like, we're heading in the right direction. You're not. You're not. And time is ticking on these assets. I mean, this is a relatively young team, but guys like Kendricks, guys like Daniil, guys like Harrison, guys like Thielen, they ain't getting any younger, man. And like I said, this much talent is a Super Bowl team with the right leadership, but the Vikings don't have it. They don't have it. And I don't know if they're going to get it this year anytime soon. Like, all of a sudden, is Zimmer just going to... Light switch turns on? No. It ain't happening, man. It ain't happening. But other than that, this is a really good team. Best 3-4 team in NFL history. I still did it. This team is still in playoff contention, man. This team still is in the wild card. Like, the Panthers are technically in the 7th seed right now at 4-4, but the Vikings have the head-to-head. They can still make a run. It comes all the way around. But let us know your thoughts on our thoughts. Woosah. Therapy session for all of us. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Venmo. Pay that man his money. It's rough, man. Well, until next time. Skol. Production value.